Okay, so hi. I know it's been a really long time, and for that I am really sorry. I know I never said anything, and I know I never addressed anything, so I've thought about coming back here and making new things and sharing new things, but it's been just like a really difficult thing to come back to. I started to write this journal entry and I realized that it was kind of relevant and important enough that I felt like I wanted to share it on here. So I'll read it to you from my journal. There's a drawer in my room and it's filled with empty notebooks. My collection kept growing in spite of my rotting intention to write. A shiny piece of fruit picked with a desire to eat it, but then it sits, and it softens, and it harbors flies, and eventually it rots. An intention without action. It's an awful thing when possibility evanesces into non-existence. It's been 3 years since I reluctantly abandoned my channel. It was never my intention for that last video to be my swan song. It happened like this. I created a video in March by the sheer will of my survival instinct, felt sick about my life and the circumstances I found myself in, floundered, dissociated until the world flipped on its axis on July 20th, 2022. I realize that's vague and cryptic, but it happened just like that. I believed I could save someone from unhappiness and pain by sacrificing my own happiness and offering with good intentions, but we both knew it was a fallacy because now not only was she sinking, I was sinking with her. It was painful, but at least I was comforted by the familiarity of that pain. That's how I used to see it, but not anymore. The end of all of this was inevitable, of course. Anyone could have seen what was coming, and yet the shock was still a quick, burning slash right through my stomach. I hardly wanted to pick myself back up for a long time. I couldn't, even if I wanted to. I couldn't turn a camera on myself and act like life carried on because it sort of didn't. Not in the way I was used to. That drawer of notebooks hasn't been opened since I moved into this house. One uncracked spine piled on top of another. The blank pages, thirsty for ink and affection, make me feel guilty because the caretaker in me is strong. At least I can acknowledge that now. After that day in July, I was left alone for the first time in a long time. It wasn't a feeling of independence or freedom that followed, though. I was lost. The funny thing about being lost is you don't realize it until you remember where you're trying to go. Where am I going? The path is unclear, foggy, and makes my tummy hurt. I wish it didn't have this effect on me. I wish I was a fearless girl. One who is guided by healing, but it takes a lot of bravery and commitment to heal. Evidently, I was not equipped. I wished there was some magic I could do. Hold my hands over the wounds and make them disappear. But time needed to pass, and more importantly, I needed to learn that people could be there for me. That lesson is really difficult when shame creeps in right on cue, telling you that asking for help is embarrassing or some other belittling thought. You're so needy. You're so burdensome. Reaching out to people you know can be challenging, and I don't do well with strangers either, yet there I was, a stranger to myself. The clothes in my closet felt like someone else's. Being left alone felt draining. The things I once thought I loved didn't suit me anymore. To be honest, I wondered if they ever did. What am I good at? What matters to me? It felt like I'd become a blank canvas. The way I used to be was all faded away. Instead of being excited by the possibilities of who I could become, it filled me with dread and sadness. All doubt-ridden and defeated, I sank into obscurity with more ease than I'd like to admit. I've always been a curious person. I mean that in all the ways you're probably thinking of. An existentialist by nature, intrinsically anxious, critical, and in pursuit of something beyond my comprehension at this exact moment. Who knows if this is a helpful question or just another trick of self-deprecation, but I do wonder what my purpose is. Do you think such a thing exists? Maybe life feels more exciting if it does, so I'm gonna keep searching for the answer. The tremendous energy needed to search for meaning has come back to me in some ways, so I'm attempting to take advantage of it before it runs out. Should I be more vulnerable and tell you my hypothesis, even at the risk of judgment? Yes. I hope my purpose is to ignite inspiration in others through my creativity, so that they feel encouraged to pursue their dreams. To ignite at least a spark, a glimpse of that fiery and all-consuming passion for sharing your talents with the world would be so special. Inspiration is one of my most sought-after and treasured feelings. To feed into it is to spite apathy. Maybe it's my Taurus sun, or maybe it's just human nature, but I'm always chasing it. Inspiration, rapture, my blood-red mecca. I want to be a fearless girl. I said it before. I'm a caretaker by nature, unexpectedly maternal, yet find it so difficult to care for myself. I suppose becoming aware of this is the first step. Next is dissecting it to find the heart. In 7th grade, we were asked to dissect a frog. This day is etched in my memory with a sterile green tint and the smell of formaldehyde. Walking into the science lab was my own personal hell, and it didn't seem likely I would find a way out. Stations were laid out with scalpels and metal trays for beds. The frogs were still crammed into big plastic bags, as if that wasn't depraved. And we were instructed to take one. I could already feel my sense of reality fading when I picked up the little knife. Holding my breath, I shut my eyes so tightly and braced for the first incision. When I thought I'd done it, I opened my eyes with hesitation and saw that I'd missed her body altogether. The knife only punctured the rubber mat beneath her. But that was enough to throw me out of my body, ears ringing, vision splotchy, dizzy. I quickly put my head down on the cold desk until the blood could flow back to my head. See, that little girl in the science lab understands me. Avoid inflicting injury at all costs. Avoid the mess that's hiding under her shiny belly. Innocent creatures do not deserve the things that happen to them. I would have much rather cradled her tiny body in my hands and sang her a lullaby so that sleep might be peaceful. I don't want the people I love to feel pain or sadness, so I wrap them up and bring them tea and try to tell them how much they mean to me. But I've come to understand that those feelings exist to serve us. They want to teach us how to love each other, to love ourselves. They want to help us grow. So even in pain, even in sadness, do it out of love. Everything. Write, draw, cast a spell, dance when you're embarrassed, cry and then kiss the tears on your own face, because we all know external validation feels good, but internal validation is healing. This journey to understand how my soul looks in the light is long and winding, and I'm so grateful to get to walk it. What a privilege. What a gift. A flawed effort is worth so much more than no effort at all. An English professor used to quote Steinbeck to me when I was struggling to write my essays. The famous one from East of Eden that goes, "And now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good." I've repeated this to myself like a prayer ever since. It's resounding in my cathedral as I write this. I'm ready to get back to the things I love. I show up here and I create because I love it. I show up because I'm learning to love myself. God, I'm such a fearless girl.